Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum. I'm delighted to be back amongst you and introducing our meeting. I'm Aidan Squire, I'm your meeting chairman. I take you through the agenda. As an opener, as always, we start with the leadership team. Could they be upstanding and introduce themselves?
Good morning all, Paul Harrigan, I'm your Social Secretary.
Good morning, I'm Scott, your meeting secretary.
Good morning all, I'm Terry, I deal with membership and recruitment.
Thank you. Ben is not here. I stand in for Ben, and he's the Education and Development Officer. Please proceed, gents. Thank you very much. Right. Let's get the meeting underway. And as always, we start formally.
Right, yes. Well, 3 weeks recorded so far on the sheet. It's what, the 23rd today? 23rd. Do we get one more, don't we? Yeah, right. Okay, so 3 weeks recorded. Let me tell you, all the members, 200 points plus. 4th place, 200 points on the nose, is Mr. Paul. 250 points for Jane. 270 points for Terry. And then 397 points. And for 6 months down there, we put it all being in the big line. So it's at the top, it's fabulous, it's winning. It's not probably true when you're at the top. I was moaning.
Oh, bad luck.
Sorry, I'm being a moaner, but you know, it's fabulous.
Very good. Well done, Stuart. At least you recorded the damn stuff.
Yeah, at least.
Right. Education presentation. I'm hoping there's somebody who's going to give us an education presentation.
Yeah.
It was me from the
Okay, so question for Catherine, I know she knows she likes to say them. The ChatGPT generated
Oh, good.
it's right. Okay. So I asked you a question: how to be a good Essex Business Forum member? Okay, so I've got 4 pages here. Don't worry, I'm not going to read it all out. Just going to summarise it. First one: give before you expect to receive. So under the old B&I term, giver's game, basically. So biggest mistake people bankers when they join is when they think they're going to get business immediately. It doesn't work like that. What works instead? Introduce members to potential clients, share opportunities, contracts or insights, look for ways to help others grow. Okay. Secondly, be clear on what you do and who you want. Be specific. I do marketing. I help service businesses get more leads. Define your ideal client. Give examples of recent work. Share real-life scenarios. Master your 60 seconds. Make it simple, memorable. Focused on who to refer, not your CV. Who you want to help. Problems to solve, examples, stories, and be clear in what you're asking them. That's what's important. Build relationships outside the meeting. So it's not just about turning up and asking for referrals, etc. It's important what happens between meetings. So that includes one-to-ones, follow up after meetings, stay in touch, not just when you need something. If you get a referral, follow up fast. Someone referred them something, respond quickly, keep them updated, and thank them properly. Be accountable and consistent. Attend regularly. Ideally every week, as much as possible. Be on time. Participate actively. Some quite interesting Be someone people enjoy being round with. It sounds obvious, but good members are positive, supportive, and professional. People won't refer someone they don't like or trust. Educate the room, don't sell to it. Share tips, explain common mistakes in your industry, help others understand when someone needs you. Avoid common mistakes, only talking about yourself, not doing one-to-ones, being vague about referrals, ignoring referrals, treating it like a sales meeting. And finally, what success looks like. A great EBF member gets consistent referrals, builds long-term partnerships, becomes known for something specific, is trusted enough that others sell them in the room. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. Right. Now one of the most exciting parts of the meeting, any membership matters Terry to tell us about.
Not that I want to tell you about, no.
You're obliged to tell us about.
No.
No. I told you it's the most exciting part of the meeting. The second most exciting part of the meeting was the 60-second round. Your chance in 60 seconds to hold and sell your business and sell to us the people that you're looking for to receive introductions from. I've been past the business card box round, you know what to do with that. The Oscar was won by Stuart. He will be listening out carefully as to what everybody will be saying, so he will award the Oscar when the time comes. Yeah, good. Paul is very well known, so you'll hear from him. Make sure when he does the second load of pings that you wind up and sit down if you have already done so. Right, so in order to get the usual way of things, Stuart will go first, and then will be followed by Steve.
Hello everybody, Stuart from Overseas Networks and our service provider. I just want to mention a story about backing up your data. Since everything has gone cloud and everyone's got, a lot of people now have their stuff in the cloud, and it's with Microsoft, or they do their accounts on Xero, or their CRM is in HubSpot or Salesforce. A lot of people think I don't need to back up my data because it's all backed up in the cloud. And whilst that's true to an extent, it's not completely true. If you read all the terms and conditions in HubSpot, Salesforce, Xero, even with Microsoft 365, backing up the data is your responsibility, not theirs. If something should happen to their system and you lose your Xero account or your CRM, that is down to you to restore it, not to them. We offer services where we can add a secondary backup to the cloud data service. So if you or any people you know are working really heavily on cloud-based systems, you want to make sure they're backed up, you can get in touch with me for Stuart at Overseas Networks.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Steve, you're next, and you're followed by Paul Corrigan.
Right, good morning guys, I'm Steve Chilton, Account Director for the ERB Commercial Risk, based up on High Street in Brentwood. We are a traditional commercial broker. So anybody who's got property, liability, motor, PI, cyber, a very long and exhaustive list of what products we can actually provide. I think the main thing to get across at the moment is typically ERB tends to get wins against the big boys. I think it's always perceived that because you've got a national broker or a network broker that's got lots of different offices up and down the country, that means you're going to get the best deal. It's not the case. Like with any of your businesses out there, your business is based on relationships, so not ours. As an ex-underwriter in the city means I know most of the people in the city, and if I don't know them directly, I can find somebody to help me out with that relationship. So essentially, you've got a problem, come see me because I'll probably get deals and I'm
Very much, Steve. Paul, you're next, and you're followed.
Well then, I'm Paul Corrigan from Solitaire Plumbing and Heating. It's not all about plumbing and heating, that's Solitaire Plumbing and Heating. Yesterday, we devoted our morning and toolbox talking to the engineer's mental health, well-being. We invited Andy's Man's Club. Paul Deluma, you spoke about it. They actually come down, spent an hour and a half with us. They were fantastic, absolutely fantastic. A couple of blokes, proper down to earth blokes. You wouldn't think they had an issue in the world, but they literally just bared up, you know. And I know one of the blokes from the gym, and you would never ever think that he had issues. Oh my God, the things he's gone through in life. And you almost think, oh, I've got all these issues, and all of a sudden you feel like a bit of a fraud. And I actually said, it doesn't matter how big your issue is, as blokes especially, we tend to just bury it away in the back of our heads, and like we forget about it, we'll move on. And he says, it doesn't matter, it could be your cat sick, but to you, that's your worst issue. And I'll tell you what, if there was a Andy's Man Club near Morgan, I'd 100% go to it. So if anyone needs to know anything about it, please speak to me or Paul Delano. I know you know all about it. So yeah, anyway, thanks for listening, Paul. I think we'll have to shut small enough to get. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Another reason why when they come round, you should give them a cup of tea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Simple. Right, Sarah, you're next, and then you're followed by Clara.
Good morning, everybody. It's Sarah Smith from Auditing Assistant Services. So this week is Admin Professionals Week. It seems like there's a day of the week or a week of the year for everything, but this week is really a week to celebrate and appreciate the people that support us in our businesses. So I just wanted to encourage you to do that. If you have someone that takes on things that you maybe don't even see as much as the amount that they do, they keep everything running smoothly, keep your stress levels low, hopefully, and they really enable you to do the things that matter and just make it look easy. Just want to, really employ you to take time to recognise and thank them, because they don't always get appreciated. And if you don't have anyone, then maybe think about freeing up some of your time and benefit also from some expertise and advice. Have a chat with me, even if there's one thing that you can take off your list to make your life easier. We can have a chat about that. So, thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah. Clara, you're next, and you're followed by Mike.
Morning, Clara from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. So it's actually been a little quieter in the business this week, which has been a little bit of a nice respite for me. But it also gives me a chance to kind of really think about those that I can actually help a little bit more. And that's what sort of a little bit of a reminder I want to do today, is to kind of how my sort of process works. And I've got a client at the moment who their incomes have changed a little bit. They're looking at selling their property and they're trying to work out actually what is their next steps and where do they want to go next. They've got a current lender, they are locked in on the rates, so they want me to kind of look at various different options. Okay, what could they do if they stayed with their existing lender? What would that look like? What would the costs incurred? What would it be if they moved to another lender? How much could they potentially borrow if they went to someone else? And I can look at all that kind of picture of things, work out all the costs for them, so that then they can look at what they want to do next with all the information to hand. So if you know anyone who's just not quite sure what they're doing, where they go next, put them in touch and I can just walk them through all the options and help them make their decisions. It's Clara from Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Thank you, Clara. Mike is next. He's followed by Matt.
Morning everyone, Mike at Blackwood's Media. So we live in a bit of a world of throwaway fashion, and that can sometimes also roll into throwaway media, particularly on social media and things like that. You can focus on like daily stories that you're putting up and just short-term trends that are going on. But good video really should be a much more long-term investment. Things like staff training videos can last for years and be used all around your company and used on different sites nationally. Good overview videos, not only just with on the website, but they can go out with emails. You can use them in presentations that you give them. And testimonials from clients, again, can last you for years, but can be targeted at relevant potential clients that you want to speak to. So, yeah, while media can be a bit topical and a bit throwaway at times, it can also be a really good investment you can just keep using over and over down the line. And if you're looking for anything to put a bit of money and time into like that, speak to me about Blackwood's Media. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Matt, you're followed by you.
Good morning, everyone. From Blue Ceremony. We're just sort of coming to the end of a number of projects, and I think with Easter there's been a little bit of a quiet period, which is great. It's actually giving us a chance internally just to review some of our processes, looking at some of the applications that we're using, and doing a little bit of training. But obviously part of that is AI. It's a huge bit in our industry. And we have been having little mini workshops internally on how we're using AI, both from an efficiency point of view, but also from helping to aid sort of concepts and various other things. But still very much the end product shouldn't be AI driven. It should all be very much human centric, but using AI to help get to that path quicker is where the industry seems to be at. So there's a combination of this authenticity and efficiency that is what we're trying to marry up with obviously all the creativity. So that is what we'll do. Thank you.
Paul, you're next.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for celebrate, helping celebrate and commemorate life's important milestones. I realised something recently about what I do as a celebrant. People often think it's just about writing ceremony and delivering it. But actually, one of the most important parts happens much earlier in the conversations I have with couples and families. I spend a lot of time asking questions, not just the obvious ones, but the kind that make people really think. And what's interesting is this: people don't just tell me what they already know. Quite often they remember things that they've long since forgotten. Stories, little moments, the way someone used to laugh, or a habit they had, or how a relationship really began. It happens in wedding meetings, and it happens just as much when I'm sitting with the family of someone that's passed away. And those moments, when something comes back to them, they're incredibly powerful. So don't just help me write the ceremony, they help people reconnect with what really matters. I'm Paul DeLue from Essex Business, and I help create meaningful life event ceremonies. Thank you.
Catherine, you're next, followed by Simon.
Morning everyone, it's April the 23rd, which is probably the day Shakespeare was born in 1564 and definitely the day he died in 1616. So, my 60 seconds is a quiz today. How many Shakespeare plays can you spot in mine? And a bonus question, which is the odd one out. So although many people focus just on results, believing that all's well that ends well, most people don't want their study of English to be a comedy of errors or a scary winter's tale. If you're worried that your little love's labours are being lost, or that they're making much ado about their work with nothing to show for it, you need to get a tutor now, offering tuition as you like it. On balance, measure for measure, having a tutor for your exam year will save you from the tempest of stress or from having midsummer night's bad dreams during exam season. So if you know someone, bear with me on this one, working, learning GCSE or A-level English, put them in touch with me. How many was it then? It was 10. And what was the odd one out? What was the odd one out?
Working, learning.
Yes. Why was that the odd one
Because
out?
I've never heard of it.
King Lear. It was King Lear. Why, anyone? Why is that the odd one out?
Because it wasn't on time.
Sorry? Oh, but it was really badly delivered. That's probably why. But no, that one's a tragedy. We have some comedies. Oh, yeah. Of course you are.
Like James.
Sorry?
It's like having James.
It's still roughly a comedy.
Right,
You
okay.
could call it problem play, but I mean, this is probably a debate for a one-to-one, actually. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you for a stimulating one. Moving on, Sylvia, you're next, and you're followed by Sally.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sylvia. I'm working at Clean is a commercial and biohazard cleaning company. So my focus this year is on the commercial side of the business. So that's why I'm speaking with a lot of businesses, and they're the same issues. They usually got a cleaner, but they are not completely satisfied. What's going on? Actually, no one knows what the cleaners do. When they have to do it, no one's taking no clear communications. And to be honest, that was me in the beginning when I started my business. I thought when I get a client, I'll just send the cleaner will know what needs to be done, everything will be perfect. But it's not the reality actually. So the structure, clear task, clear communication, and proper supervision is actually what makes the difference. I could say 50% is how it is the cleaner, but 50% is out the management. So I'm looking to connect with the businesses that have commercial premises and to work with them cleaning and make them life easier. Thank you so much.
Right, so good. Sally, followed by Deanna.
Morning everyone, Sally from Elan Home Fragrances. We make candles for diffusers and room mists for commercial clients and for private clients. So yesterday I was in duty free and I play a little game every time I go into the boring waiting for the plane. So I'm going to suggest maybe that you all have a go at this to understand how much fragrance connects mood and memory to our life and how important it is to us. So on my right hand yesterday I sprayed some Poison, and on my left hand I sprayed some Chanel Chance, and I haven't smelled either of them for quite a long time. On my right hand it just reminded me of being in Lloyd's as a broker when I was 17, 18, 19, and I just thought of all these people, the memories just came flooding back. And on my left hand I was in South Africa on a safari about 15 years ago. And on the plane on the way back, the guy next to me was, because she's mad, she's very like this. But the point is that it really can show you how, after years, you can connect yourself to something, and how important and how we can do that with our brand and our fragrance. So we'll just from Elan, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sally. Yeah, followed by Dave.
Good morning, everyone. In a home renovation or in a room renovation, did you know there are approximately 300 decisions you have to make? And that's also including you walking around shops, you're looking at samples, you're looking online, you're ordering things, it turns up, it doesn't work. Do you keep it? Do you send it back? If you keep it, it's wasted money. But that's where I can save you money and I can save you time. You tell me what you want from your home, from your room. You tell me the things you like, what you don't like. I put it all together and I give you that curated, beautiful, unique home that you've always after. So if you know anybody that's lying awake thinking, oh my God, I've got 300 decisions to make for one room, please put them in touch with me because I can help them and take away all the stress, all the pain, and save them money, because sometimes I have amazing trade discounts that I can pass on as well. That's Leanne for Clean Interiors.
Thank you, Leanne. Dave, you're followed by Terry.
Morning everybody, Dave from Mercury Electrical. This week I'm just asking if anybody wants a review of their lighting in their homes or offices. We took one of these spotlights out of a lady's house and we replaced them with one of these. Saved her about 85% on her electricity bill for the lighting. These are the LED, this is a tungsten one. There's no lamps to change in this. If you want to change the colour of the light as well, there's a little switch on the front, so you've got like a bright white, a warm white or a neutral white. And the bezels change, you can change the bezels as well for the colour. So anybody wants to look at, wants to come around and have a look, see if it's saving money on the energy for their lighting, please come around and have a look for you. Thank you.
Terry, you're followed by Scott.
Thanks, Aidan. Good morning, everybody. Terry Mailing from TM Law. I've got to tell you a tale about a client. I've got a client who are a small local firm. They had an employee work for them for 3 months. They sacked him because he was useless. Not the official phrase. He brought a claim against them for a multitude of things, running to about 18 pages, £279,000. All kinds of things, including personal injuries, psychiatric damage, all kinds of stuff. So I defended the claim robustly, as you'd imagine I would, and I've now keep pushing him into a corner, to the point where the father who's acting for him said, we'll take 20 grand. I wrote back and offered him 5 because it's a nuisance money, and he didn't respond to that. And I've now made him an offer and said, withdraw your claim or I'm going to apply for costs. And he's come back yesterday and said, we'll take the 5 grand that you offered 2.5 months ago. And I said, sorry, you missed the boat. So I'm going to save my clients £279,000 and we're going to pay nothing. And if he carries on with the case, he's going to end up paying my client's costs. That's the sort of thing I can do. If you know anyone's in that situation, send them to me, Terry Mailing at TM Law. Stop thinking you better.
It's my job.
Pressure. Yeah.
Good morning, yeah?
Scott, you're followed by me, and I'm followed by Paul.
Good morning, folks. I thought I'd talk to you today about mobile web development. The importance of mobile really is crucial. So working with Matt on so many of our projects, we've designed and built some really unique, really user-friendly mobile interfaces for your menu systems. If you just use the default boring website mobile menu, it's quite uninspiring and looks naff. We've got some really interesting, unique ways of displaying lots of information. The other side, mobile web development this week, I bought a bloody treadmill to go on my stand-up desk. So I've been walking and working, done probably 15k, I guess, over the last couple of days, walking while I'm building websites, so mobile web development.
Thank you, Scott.
You set up a live stream.
It's like break dancing, isn't it?
Right. Ed Smart and TM Law. Going away on holiday always focuses on the work that you've got and the work that you're doing. And I produced a list for Terry before I went away. Only going away for 4 days, but if you were going to be away forever. And it's an interesting list. I had 2 commercial leases. I was acting for a landlord on one and a tenant on another. I had 2 commercial freehold acquisitions. One I was selling, and then the other I was buying. I have a company director employment dispute. I have 4 months of terms and conditions. I have 3 by holiday park as I have a dispute. I've got a mortgage and I've got a unit transfer I'm involved with. And of course I've got 2 wills and 1 LPA. Now that's a list of what I'm looking for. That's the list that you can go out and look for me. So if you go out there and get me some more, that's a inspiring GM law. Sarah?
That's fine. That's fine.
Shoot.
Morning, Paul Booth. I'm Booth and Co. Chartered Certified Accountants based in Brentwood. We form limited companies for clients. We charge £250 plus VAT, and that includes the company's house formation fee of £100. People can do it themselves if they want to. They'll still have to pay the £100 to company's house, but most of the time when they do it, they get it wrong. They typically put their home address as the registered address, and then that way their personal details are available to them worldwide. They only form in one share, which doesn't really help if they're going to appoint other shareholders in the future, and they have to do all the company ID checks themselves as well. So we also provide advice on whether that's the best structure for them. So I'm looking for people who are thinking about forming a limited company or starting a business. So Paul Booth and Booth & Co. in my tax maximise
Paul. Right. That's the end of the 60-second round. Stuart. You do what's the awesome. You're going for the awesome.
Few good ones there as usual. Walking for honourable mention to Paul, I think I've always said about it, you look after your team will look after your customers. And I think doing something like that is very worthwhile. But I do think not only for clearly showing how well he does his job and for saving his clients money, but I think just almost based it on the stop dinging your bell. I've got to give it to Terry. Please.
Doing that. Sorry? Well done, Terry. Right. Moving on. Yes, I'll take it.
We'll give it back to you.
Right.
Cancel the summons.
The meeting secretary's report always finishes, follows the 60-second round.
Yes, yes. Just a quick one. We have a dozen of those. 3 referral steps, so new business opportunities. Lots of activity steps for recording lots of things, not just money that we've shared. Only 5k recorded on there this week from my quick bit of maths, but that 5k tops us over £100,000 recorded so far this month. So all in all, a good one.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Scott. Right. We move on to the second major part of our meeting, with the 10-minute presentation. Steve, go for it.
Good morning, guys. So I'll give you a little bit of a background about ERB, and I'll move on to some of the products we actually provide as well. So, good morning, guys. I'm Steve Chilton. I'll give you a quick overview of ERB commercial risks and how we support business with insurance and risk management. I've worked in the commercial insurance industry for 30 years, 12 years as a fleet and trade underwriter, and 18 years as a broker. This experience allows me to both understand both sides of the market and deliver better outcomes for our clients. ERB Commercial Risk is an independent family-owned brokerage which was established in 2014, which is owned by my MD Banks and his wife Catherine Banks. We specialise in providing bespoke insurance and risk management solutions for businesses, private clients and specialist sectors. We're FCA regulated, Lloyd's accredited and fully qualified through the Child Insurance Institute. Everyone who works for ERB is essentially either have the qualification or they immediately have to work towards it to be part of the team. Our focus is simple: tailored service and long-term client relationships. We're not really interested in having clients for 1 year or 2 years to really kind of work with us. We want to build long-term relationships with our clients and integrate ourselves with their businesses so we can better help them over the years. What sets ERB apart is our approach. Our team's highly experienced. Obviously, I've got 30 years worth of experience. Every account director within the business has got a minimum of 25 years experience working in commercial insurance. We take time to understand each client's businesses in detail. We never assume cover is correct, and we review and challenge it when we can. We educate clients on changes in legislation in the insurance market, and we provide full claims support and single point of contact 7 days a week. All our claims are managed in-house. We have a claims manager who used to work for an insurance company set up their entire claims procedure. So, if anything, she's probably better than some of our actual insurance claims departments. She's already spotted 2 fraudulent claims and had to flag them to the insurance company this year alone, which they weren't aware of. So, ultimately, we prioritise service and clarity in an industry that can often feel complex, and it shouldn't need to be. We're there to make you understand it where you need to. We arrange commercial insurance for businesses all sizes from sole traders to large corporations. Ultimately, we're probably better the more complex the insurance arrangement. It's not to say we can't deal with a sole trader, but ultimately, we really show our teeth when we're dealing with more complex risks. Areas include property and commercial combined insurance, liability cover, public employers products, motor fleet transport, professional indemnity and cyber liability, directors and offices, specialist areas like construction, waste and marine cover. In simple terms, commercial insurance is about finding solutions for unique risks. No two businesses are ever the same, and that's how insurance should be treated. How we add value. One of our biggest strengths is our ability to present clients effectively to insurers. Because of my underwriting background, I understand what insurers look for, how they assess risk, how to position a business to better secure competitive terms. Strong relationships and trust in the market allow us to negotiate more competitive premiums, broader and more appropriate cover. Here are a couple of quick examples. I visited a bakery which had a 20 million turnover, which now is floated on the stock exchange. They had no disaster recovery plan, they had no asset list, they were significantly underinsured, and we identified gaps and implemented business interruption cover to protect them and cover them for perils they weren't already covered for. A construction firm faced repeated injury claims. We introduced health and safety procedures which reduce the frequency of incidents and improve their risk profile, leading to lower premiums. The landscapers policy excluded use of powered machinery when they approached me. Despite using it day to day, I'm not sure many landscapers can't use a chainsaw these days. I don't want to see someone hanging up a tree using a hacksaw, but yeah, hang on. We corrected this and reduced the premium at the same time. I think these examples will show our attention to detail and our proactive risk management and should make a real difference to anyone's business. To summarise, ERB provides tailored insurance solutions, expert guidance, proactive risk management, and a high level of personal service. As an account director, effectively, my clients deal with me 365 days a year. I wouldn't necessarily encourage them to ring me on Christmas Day, particularly in the latter part of the afternoon, because I might not necessarily give the best advice. But I have had phone calls over the Christmas period, and I know my clients would only ever call me if it was urgent. And as far as I'm concerned, if that phone rings, I know it's urgent. And that's how it should be. You should be able to respond to it. If you're unsure about your current cover and experience rising premiums or not getting the service you expect from what I've explained, come and speak to me. Give you a bit more of a detail on some of the products we actually provide. So this is to do with D&O and cyber insurance. Both of these are extremely popular products for a variety of reasons, but I'll kind of go into that. Right. We'll start with the more traditional topic, which is directors' notice cover, which is also known as management liability. And I'll move on to something a bit more current, which is obviously the concerning cyber risk. Right, D&O protects the personal position of directors and senior managers that represent the business. Claims made against them for a wrongful act, the policy covers legal defence costs and any compensation. Wrongful acts can include breach of duty, neglect or errors, misleading statements, wrongful trading. In short, if a decision you make in your role is challenged, this policy is there to protect you personally. Directors and senior managers can personally be sued by shareholders, employees, regulators and third parties. And without cover, they could face disqualification or significant legal costs or fines or even criminal proceedings. So what might feel nice to have for many businesses is actually essential protection. Now, before we move on, quick show of hands. Who's got motor insurance? Who's got property insurance? Who's got liability cover? Who's got cyber cover? So the last one always gets fewest hands, and that's exactly the issue. Business is becoming more digital, and cyber risk has become one of the biggest threats. A few quick stats for you. 46% of businesses experienced a cyber breach in the last year. Cybercrime has increased by 400% since 2020. And 90% of breaches are caused by human error. This isn't an IT issue, it's a business risk. So let me bring this to life with a few quick examples. So a phishing attack. Business owner receives what looks like a legitimate supplier email, verifies it, makes a payment, but the email account has been compromised. Loss of £4,000. Ransomware. One business reacts immediately, cost is around £10,000. Another delay is reported in 5 days, cost rises to £80,000. Human error. An employee sends sensitive data to the wrong person. 200 employees affected. Total claim, £227,000. And these aren't unusual cases. They're happening every day. You only have to look at Marks Spencer's, for example, at the beginning of the year. I think what people don't realise is there's a lot of cyber claims that happen for big corporations that never go reported. I'm pretty certain British Airways have been impacted on more than a few occasions over the years, but it's reputational damage. So most people don't ever want to put their hand up when they have actually been impacted. So what does cyber insurance actually provide? Well, firstly, prevention. Provides training, risk management support, access to cyber specialists. Secondly, immediate response, 24/7 incident helpline, IT forensic experts, legal and PR support. And as we all know, that big corporations, it's all about essentially reputational damage. The moment you've been impacted, affects the share value and a multitude of different other things. After the event, investigation, financial support, and help strengthen them to prevent it happening again. It's not just insurance, it's access to expertise when you need it most. So to wrap it up, cyber risk is growing, evolving, and in many cases unavoidable. The question isn't whether business will face a threat, it's how prepared they are when it happens. If you would like to explore how this applies to your business or review a current cover, I'll be very happy to have a conversation. But I'll open up if there's any questions on anything I've actually mentioned.
I think we need a one-to-one. I guess I should be selling your cyber cover to my new website owners as and when.
And then it's like with anything, when it comes to cyber cover, there are effectively entry-level insurance covers. There are specialist insurance providers that only deal in cyber insurance. For example, there's a company called Coalition. What they would actually do is they would actually do an in-depth review on the client. identify weaknesses in their websites, where the passwords can be accessed, and effectively give you a report. And that report can be ongoing over the period of the insurance. So essentially, it's the extension of your business, as it were, that can identify when there are actually weaknesses. But coalition cover tends to be for the very large commercial companies, because what they're providing is so much more in-depth understanding cyber policy. But it's like with anything, obviously there's a market available. If you need a kind of entry-level policy to kind of build your business up, and as your building grows and expands, then you can potentially upskill or up the level of cover you've actually got. But say cyber cover it's so diverse what it provides cover for these days. And I think this is the thing, we're seeing so many examples. And if I'm only seeing a percentage of examples, because not everyone is actually telling me when they've been exposed, the length and breadth of what potentially is being impacted, I mean, it's, as far as the eye can see.
Steve, what's a good referral for you to get you in? We've all got lots of leaders where you want to, hook people in. What's an easy referral and a good one for you to get the client in the first place, and then you can share the services?
I think, to be honest with you, I mean, look, insurance is not everyone's favourite subject, is it? Everyone sees it as a kind of, it's a cost, it's a necessary cost, but they kind of wonder what they're actually getting for it. Ultimately, what I want from is somebody who is basically, I pay my premium, I never see the broker, I don't know what I'm really getting. When I seem to have an issue, they seem to go on the missing list. That's not how we approach business. As far as I'm concerned, I'm an extension of your business. If you've got a headache or your business is growing or kind of, you might be making an acquisition or what have you, insurance shouldn't be the last thing you think about. You should be consulting me and I would be consulting you on what steps you may need to take, whether there's considerations you haven't actually made. Ultimately, we should be that sounding board. We might be able to turn around and say the current portfolio is fine.
You could do an overview anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's the thing, businesses evolve. I mean, you've got to consider that some of our clients, I mean, one of the examples I've used is a company that essentially we started dealing with about 14 years ago, which was a waste company, a couple of port cabins, a couple of skip lorries and stuff like that. They now run Essex Waste. So Essex County Council, that our client is now an £80 million contract. They weren't the size they are now when we started dealing with them. Now, I can't say that it was specifically down to us or our level of connections, but I'd like to think we would have played an important role in there, that potentially they weren't overpaying on their insurance costs, so potentially it means they could actually upskill their fleet and the contracts they were actually dealing with and more employees. It could have been the fact they were better protected because the portfolio we put in place, which meant they weren't exposed to any shortcomings on the insurance arrangements. It could have been the fact we've opened doors to them. And this is the thing with an insurance broker. We should be just evaluating on the basis of what we actually bring to the table for your insurance portfolio. We have an extensive list of clients, and there is a degree of crossover. We always encourage our clients to do business with one another because ultimately it's meant to have a relationship with our clients, and ultimately it opens doors and gives you business. And that's how it should be. It should be a reciprocal arrangement.
If you're registered with Cyber Essentials, do you get a discount?
Well, Cyber Essentials will give you a basic degree of cover. The sort of policies we provide are providing an extension on what Cyber Essentials will provide. And I think, to be honest with you, if Cyber Essentials, it's a benefit, but I think the moment you're going down that route, you probably should be looking at your own arrangement and having it tailored to what you actually need it for. I mean, certain businesses will always be more exposed than others. For example, with your business, the fact that you have lots of client data, you'd always be targeted. Businesses that have high volumes of payments going through will always be targeted. So every business is different, no two are the same, but essentially there's always going to be particular businesses that are actually targeted before anyone else. But to be honest with you, in 5 years from now, I mean, DNO was a very popular product sort of 5 years ago. Now cyber has really overtaken that now. And in 5 years' time, every single person will have cyber cover. But at the moment, it's still one of those ones, do I really need it? And it's always after the event, and that's when it's like, probably should have some degree of cover. Well, I mean, the thing is, I would suggest, I mean, even the basic level cyber cover is probably no more than a couple £100. So that, for a couple £100 and it protects your business, it might not cover the entire extent of the actual loss, but at least having something there in place for what is a minimal cost to a business, I'd always suggest having it. You can always up it over a period as the business grows and evolves. Anyone else?
Dave, thank you very much indeed. Very well done. Don't sit down. Don't sit down. Don't sit down. You've got more fun to come. Can I remind everybody, as Steve would confirm, insurance is an annual contract. We're all getting up to every year we have to recommit ourselves to our insurance, and that's our opportunity. You can refer us to Steve. Right. The referrals and testimonials round next. You can do the running, Steve, and we'll start as always with the North Corner. Paul?
Yeah, really. Thank you. Attended the Search Team meeting, and I thank you for the Macau meeting.
Thank you for that, Steve. Good to get your first good mention as well. And thank you, Chat.
Excellent. Well done, Steve, for your first 10 minutes. Thank you for your top. Steve's actually just helped me out with what's on. Okay, Steve. Yeah, just kind of debating, where we sit. We've kind of gone more on the entry level, but Steve's group guidance was really, really easy and actually made total sense. And certainly going to be looking at when we renew our professional indemnity and business insurance, because, like you said, actually there's so much more. I think we're just used to insurance as like a faithless product, and actually it certainly seems that you're not that way inclined. There's a human side to it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably part and parcel of it is the fact that, yes, I can sell an insurance policy, any broker can sell an insurance policy, but ultimately who's going to be the one that's actually going to be backing you when it comes to getting the claim sorted out? Because that's what we do. Our job doesn't sell or finish selling insurance products. We're all the way through the actual process. So.
Thank you. I have a referral to Stuart for Nicholas Mobile. I have a wonderful thank you to the wonderful Sally for a wonderful one-to-one we had the other one.
Thank you.
A nice stroll around, looking where all the magic happens. It was brilliant. Thank you. I have a thank you to money to Stuart. Something. Can't remember what it was. Thank you. I have a thank you to money to Scott for Williams. Have a referral to Stuart.
Is there money exchanged hands here?
Well, that's what we're here for. And a referral to Scott. Welcome to the club.
Stepped in today.
Steve's great presentation. Thank you so much. I'm one of these person that paid the insurance but have no idea what's included. And with the biocolor part of the business, I think it's really important to get someone where we know.
In fairness, we do a lot of clinical practice.
Yeah, so I definitely choose to put you on. And thank you to AI. Yeah, it was a really good one, and I had one with your phone.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. The point you're making is there's insurance and there's insurance, and you don't get to find out whether you've got the right one until something goes wrong.
Exactly.
I've got a really good IT company, verified IT, and I've got insurance with them. I have no idea what the level of coverage is. Maybe we can have a chat.
Yeah.
But I suspect because it's a bolt-on, it's probably not going to be very good.
It'll probably be a captain now, probably 25, 50k or something like that. But yeah.
Standalone policy, and then we'll, I'll chat these things
Yeah.
again. They've got so far, I've been very good on that. But I say you never know what the policy is like. thanks Paul for the it's not worth reminding things of that. And one for Sarah, it's a referral and a testimonial. She's already done it. Thank you very much. Really efficient. This lady is so efficient. Like you ask her to do something and you forget about it. Next thing, bang, it's there. She's done it. And it was really efficient and really well done. And I've been trying to work something out. For 9 months I've been trying to work out who this particular defendant is. Sarah found out in less than a day. So thank you very much for that. That's really, really useful.
Lovely meeting everybody. It's nice to be back. Really good 10 minutes. Thanks for that. I've got someone in mind already that I will just double check what one of my clients is up to with their insurance.
Yep.
When I onboarded them, they didn't have anything. So, and thank you for the Edslot call. It was great. I had one to run with Leanne, which is lovely, and I'll see you all next week.
There's one for me at slide, and Steve got on this one then. Attended James' synergy last week, and we've just got one for you, which we was talking about for land insurance.
Of course, yeah.
And that's it. See you next week.
Good. Congratulations, well done. Thank you. A referral there. I'm handing this paper over, but it's media. It's not for me. I'm not claiming that one. To Matt. We would like some posters, please, to put on the counter here, leave them here after we've all gone, to potentially just advertise in the meetings to the groups.
So I could do a sort of AI version of Aidan's Lord Kitchener. Who would you?
Yeah.
You're available for photo shoot.
Matt, if you want to fact.
That's not a point on
Stop ringing that bell. Thank you for the money to a whole load of ex-members, but one current member on there, Terry. There was something to pay for this week somehow.
Just as a point of reference, that Lord Kitchener, the We Need You, was actually claims manager's grandfather.
Lord Kitchener himself, or the person?
No, the person who actually created the actual postal, so yeah.
You like being in the kitchen, you like being in the kitchen.
Some generations.
Oh.
Created the EV.
Right. I've got a referral. This is, the technical term is it's asked about face. Stuart put in the thank you for the money, and this is the referral for it. And Sarah, we've got another one come on board, so release. So that's a referral from there.
Thank you.
And yeah, Steve, a good start. And yeah, as I said earlier, it's an opportunity for all of us to review our insurance when it comes through, and there's the amount to go to commercial. Right. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I think it's a wise choice, of course, to print the Siri thing out rather than doing it live. But that is all very, very valid for us. Well done on doing the first 10 minutes. Very interesting, and I'll keep the eyes open. These people.
Again, great. First 10 minutes, because you know, much better idea of who to refer you to, really. So you mentioned a couple of companies, I was like, oh, actually, yeah. So that's perfectly appointed, I suppose. Paul, I really love it when people give a talk on 60 seconds on how to do it properly, and you've just written yours and you're sitting there going, oh, shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have done that, and so yeah, notes taken. Well, particularly going, yeah, do you know anyone that does furniture recovering or, yeah, cool, could I get some details off you? And if anyone's around on Saturday, Brentwood Brewery down the road are doing a St George's Day thing from 12 till 6. Just for the kids, £10 to get in, which gets you 2 free drinks as well. But I'm going to be here for the afternoon, a bit more and more progressively drunk. So if anyone would like a one-to-one of decreasing standards, I'll down another look. But it's open to anyone. So, yeah. I'll put the details up on.
Are you walking?
I should be sleeping in the filter. Right.
Yeah, that's really great. Obviously, know your stuff, and I should come to you when I need to sort out mine. It was quite good Edslot considering it was like. I had a one-to-one with Ben, who says hello to you all. Not doing too bad. He looked really well, but
Yeah, great meeting. Thanks for the reminder, Paul, on all of that, and for swearing, yeah, being on. Brilliant, somebody. Really informative. Thank you. I think we need to have a one-to-one.
Yeah, I'll
See you next week.
Thanks, Chair. That's my AI, I call him Chad, and he speaks with the Cincinnati accent, which is fun. But that's really good, thank you. Just to remind everyone. And Steve, yeah, obviously, completely get where you're coming from and everything. So we probably should have a one-to-one. And do you do estates cover as well, or?
we can, I mean, look, it depends on what the actual recovery ratio is on, but yeah, I mean, I should be able to.
Okay. I have, I should have spoken about this, but it's a very light referral for Sylvia about David Lloyd. So I don't know if you've got in contact with them. That's Harbella. What's this? I had seen meeting with Jane, but she's obviously not here. And one for Aidan, that's a little bit more detail about that commercial lease. And see everyone next week.
Yep, great meeting as ever. Blake sends his apologies via me for not being here. They're in Amsterdam at the moment. I'm sure they're having a lovely time. Yeah, great, excellent. Paul, thank you for that. And yeah, really informative. Always great to kind of get a bit more information to where to place people. So yeah, really helpful. And probably worth getting to know one-to-one, but I'll try and probably do it over Zoom or something like that, so that Shannon and I can both be in it. So,
Or you have the option if you want, you can come by our offices and come and have a coffee, if not, so.
we're Bishop's Auckland, so it's a little bit more of a trek in that direction. But yeah, we'll definitely get something organised. So brilliant, thank you.
Actually, it's not Paul, always, mate. And great to meet Steve. He's only reconciled for initial services, and then I need to have a look at that site as well, definitely.
Yeah.
And also, I think you've got a great taste in glasses as well. I thank you for the money to Terry and Tiger. Cheers, Terry. I have a referral to Dave Roberts. That's a done deal. No? Okay. Thanks. I have a referral to Catherine for my year 9 daughter.
That's my first
As you
meeting
said
on
last week.
September 27th. Thank you very much.
And I have another referral from Dave Roberts, Philip Grant for Eagles.
Yeah, I went up here since the
Oh, so yeah. Well, thanks all.
Right. Before you sit down, Steve, just when you thought yourself sit down,
Our winner for today's speaker's prize.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of exercise.
Not as much as Scott when he goes home.
And who is gets for wrong?
Aidan.
Really? There we go. Aidan's the winner.
That means you have a choice of prizes.
Choice.
Oh,
excellent. Thank you very much, Steve, for your 10 minutes, for you doing the running and giving me a prize at the end, which is great. I, as always, as we come to the end of the meeting, I was hoping I could send you away in sunshine, but I'm not going to do that. But before I do, I'll throw open the floor. Announcements?
Yeah, for those who wear glasses, get the same glasses as Steve and Paul, and then you can have a glasses corner.
They're expensive, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
is everyone that's here today, apart from Paul, so I know about you, not going to be here next week? Yes. Yeah?
Yes, of course they are.
Thanks for Shannon, but yeah. Yeah, got that as well. Thank you.
On the timing side, we started today's 10-minute presentation at 1:45. So if you've got 20 minutes, it's not.
Okay. We're doing a 10-minute challenge next week. Bad luck.
Do we need time aprons or anything like that? Do we need apron? No? Okay.
Just bring your nose with you and you'll be absolutely fine.
I'm hoping for a generation game.
It's a complete disaster. Can't do a pre-run, but we'll see.
Paul?
I'm not here this week, unfortunately. I've got my guest renewal, unfortunately, it doesn't. 4 days. But yes, 2 social events I need to remind you of. If you can let us know, the rally, I know Scott said there should be about 18 of us going. I think so far we've got 6 people said yes. So yeah, if we can get more, that'd be great. And also the comedy one, Leanne's idea. Yeah, if you can just let me know, I can get it all booked up. And also, if anyone fancies that, I know the board of it, but more than my grace this Sunday.
This Sunday?
This Sunday, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the gates open at 10, the race starts at 2:30.
Pretty hot shower, don't you?
You do, yeah. You do.
What time is it? I'll bring the dog.
What time is it? At 10 a.m. the gates open, all the events start. Not the events, but you know, the music and whatever. And the race starts at 2:30. Yeah, so it's quite like it's just obviously 5 times.
And anybody who doesn't know, after you've been through it all, this year you get promotion.
Apparently so.
Okay. Steve.
Just as a reminder, I did send out a note to anybody who wants to join us at Brentwood Football Club for the final home game of the season. I know that you could come back to me, but if any more takers, let me know, because I just need to sort out catering arrangements.
Good. Brilliant. Okay. Right. In that case, I think that's it. I will send you on your way. Have a great day. Have a great week. Make sure you all turn up for Sally next week. Bring your nose up with you, and we'll be fine. See you all.